Welcome back to Road Gang Radio. Join Jimmy Mack and Lindsay Lawler's Gang of the Airwaves by subscribing to Radio Nemo on YouTube.
We celebrate all kinds.
Make it official. After all, if you're listening, you're already in the gang. The Road Gang.
Man, quit looking at the enemy unless they cut you off, Jim.
Unless they cut you off, by the way. Don't be looking at the enemy. And unless, of course, they don't use their blinker either. By the way, I told you I'd get an update from what is going in Owasso, Oklahoma. It is currently 33 degrees and light snow over there. Our good friend Foraught, though, Dean says, in my opinion, it could stay between 30 and 40 year-round, and I'd be happy as a polar bear drinking a Coke, drifting on an ice floe. By the way, if you've ever laid eyes on Foraught, he looks like a mountain man, so that makes a lot of perfect sense. Dean Croak joins us, but also dropping in, because Dean Croak will see her shortly, is Courtney George, transportation head honcho over at Wreaths Across America. Good morning to you, Courtney.
Good morning. I'm so excited I get to see Dean in probably just a few short hours.
Yeah, Dean, what's your time, by the way? How soon before you actually get to lay eyes on gorgeous George herself?
About an hour and a half after we wrap up the show here this morning, so I'll be heading straight over.
So basically, Courtney, I'm denying you your ability to see Dean sooner. I just want to take full credit for that. You can suffer in that reality for a while.
I am suffering.
What is the action like over there? What can Dean expect, and what can I expect when I arrive sometime in the middle of the afternoon tomorrow after I get my plane flight into Bangor?
So you can expect a lot to be going on. We are going to see our busiest levels on Friday. Loading-wise, we've got over 65 appointments Friday and again on Saturday. So we are going to be moving and grooving at that time. That is one exciting part. The Truckers Lounge is filled right now. There are so many people that are there and enjoying it, being able to see everybody sitting around big tables together, watching TV or football, maybe the Weather Channel. We got very lucky that nor'easter really missed us. So all types of great things are what y'all are going to get to experience when you get here.
Yeah, and Dean, I kind of wanted to kind of set this up for you as well too. I know for a fact you're going to have a heck of a time figuring out not so much where to get content, but how you're going to manage all the content you're going to have available to you. I can't prep you for what actually it is you're walking into. Courtney can give you a sense, but that whole building will be surrounded by a lot of trucks. Many of them are independent operators, independent drivers who actually do a really great job. And of course, then there's the fleets that participate, and all of those guys, of course. So in many ways, you're walking into the best of the best, and a lot of people who are old school. Because I think, Dean, I can't think of a place that I've been to around the country, including Iowa 80, where it feels as old school as it feels there. Is there any place where you in America where you go to bring your truck into where it feels like something from a time portal?
The only other place that remotely comes close to this, Jimmy Mac, is the Historical Society Truck Show. That's the only place where you've got people that are all there for the same purpose. That's the only place. But this will be something else because of the reason that we're all there. It'll be such a somber experience.
Yeah. By the way, somberness actually kind of kicks in later on, but I'm telling you right now, one of the things that overwhelmed Dave, Courtney, was he could not believe the action and the bustle in there and all of those volunteers we talked about. What have you got left to do, Courtney? What is still on your plate in regards to like where you have to do it? I mean, there's plenty of stuff that you have to do, but what is still like the pressing things that are left for Courtney George over there?
Pressing things is making sure drivers get loaded in a timely manner. We've got most everyone that is, beholden to their loading time, but making sure we stick to that. That's one thing that's really important to us. Even if we're sticking to that in, Maine or at one of our cross docks, that is something that's, we're really watching that to make sure people are coming in. If they're delayed, we're reaching out to make sure that they're still, if they're just going to be one day delayed, that's great. But making sure people are still really getting involved and able to, make sure those wreath deliveries are happening on time.
I don't know if you saw it yet, Courtney, because I know how busy you are. This morning, one of the first things I always do is I check my email because I always get last-minute notes from Jim Park sometimes about stories they're going to talk about. So, and because I do news and get news updates, I'm kind of deep in my email around 4 o'clock in the morning. I got an email this morning from Dean. Don't know if you've seen. Did you see what he sent us?
I saw it. I didn't see the pictures.
Oh my God!
Or any of that.
The image that he generated, Dean. I want you to tell folks what you actually. This, by the way, as a guy who complains about AI all the time, is a spectacular use of AI. Dean, explain what you did real quick.
Yeah, we took in YouTube. You can take parts of an interview because we had Courtney on our DATIQ show this week. So you can take parts of an interview from YouTube and take the transcript. So we took the commentary that Courtney made describing how Wreaths Across America works in terms of the logistics. So we took the text, and then we took it into Google's Gemini large language model, or what we all think of as AI, and we asked it, and there's another program they have that's called an image generator. It's called Nano Banana, of all things. And we gave it the text, and we said, from this text, create an infographic. And it created an infographic of pictures of trucks and wreaths and drivers, and it broke it into 5 parts. And it described the whole supply chain process of moving wreaths all across America in one picture that you wouldn't have to read 1,000 words, but if you looked at this, you could go, that's how Courtney moves 850 loads to 550 destinations with 550 boxes or 40 boxes per truck, and this is where they all go, and this is what cross-docking is. So and this all happens in a matter of minutes. So we did this week just as an example to show how AI works in the real world. But the fact that it can do it in such a way and produce it fairly accurately, it needs a little bit of tweaking. But I just thought it was a fun way to describe in a way that we could put on a social media post to help promote the Wreaths Across America project in a way that for people that don't have a high attention span that wanted to say, oh, that's Wreaths Across America, what's that about? And as a call to action, click on a link to go to the website and donate or sponsor a wreath or get involved or, just do something else. So that's what we did this week. It's just a great example, I think, of what AI does in the real world.
Really quickly, and we're going to get Tara to post that just a little bit later on, guys, and I will let you know when it is up. It really is. It's lovely, and it gives a real perspective. Now, many of you guys will already get it, but you'll get it in a way that you'll actually get a sense of how big the operation is. Courtney, I'm going to praise you before I get up there and just hug you. I want to let people know that an incredibly modest yet handsome and classy wreath company over the course of the year, in literally the blink of an eye, transforms into a mid-sized fleet carrier. I mean, you've done this for a living before you arrived at Wreaths Across America. It's fair to say that what you guys do is you essentially, over the course of like 3 or 4 weeks, have a major multi-million-dollar corporation that is in charge of moving freight. It must be the most overwhelming thing when it kicks into high gear, right?
Absolutely. We truly do grow to that level, and it is in many ways overwhelming because unlike the multi-million-dollar companies, we don't have the staff to do that. We are doing this with so many volunteers. And so that makes what we do so special because this is at the heart of every single person that's there.
A lot of people who are deeply committed to veterans, deeply committed to honoring the memory of veterans who now are at their final rest, actually have become experts in the supply chain, and I don't think any of them ever imagined they would be. A lot of that is due to the patience of people like Don Queenie and then, of course, Courtney George, who talks to us today. Courtney, is there anything else you want to tell our listeners out there? You've been on here a couple of times over the last couple of weeks, begging, pleading, me up there screaming at people to kind of come through, and they've come through, haven't they?
They have come through mightily. I got 2 loads back yesterday, so if anyone is in the Phoenix area and can go to Southern Cal, I've got 2 loads with some multi-stops on it, but outside of that, most importantly, thank you. We look forward to seeing you at your scheduled appointment time.
By the way, Courtney can be found over at wreathsacrossamerica.org. Just head on over there and send her an email. Reach out. It's trucking at Wreaths at what is it? Tell me what it is one more time. I always get this wrong.
Trucking at wreathsacrossamerica.org.
There you go, guys. If you can do those Southern California routes, get in touch with Courtney. Courtney, we love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Dean, we'll see you shortly, I promise.